Quincy, you don't leave.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all on behalf of the Rhode Island Democratic Party for a momentous occasion of setting off our teamwork to elect the next Congressman from District 1, who will be Congressman Gabe Ammo. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Senator Sandra Cano. Senator.
Thank you. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
I can feel the energy here. What an honor it is to be with Rhode Island General Officers, our congressional delegation, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House. Our candidates are here, and our newly minted Democratic nominee for the 1st Congressional District, Gabe Ammo. Gabe, I'm truly excited for you. You know, democracy won this week. The voters went to the polls with a historic, diverse slate of choices, an impressive variety of identities and backgrounds that is truly reflective of the Democratic Party and Congressional District 1. When we elect Gabe in November, he will be the first, let me say it again, the first person of color to represent Rhode Islanders in Congress. And I have to say this before, identity isn't everything, but representation truly does matter. Woo! It will be a big step forward for us to send a black man, the son of immigrants, and I have to mention, a child of Patake, to Congress from the 1st District. But beyond representation, what really matters is good policy that will benefit every Rhode Islander. I know we can count on Gabe because throughout his campaign, he has articulated clear, reasoned policy positions and an approach to coalition building that I'm confident will translate to meaningful results for Rhode Islanders. He has kept an important focus on preventing gun violence, tackling the climate crisis, protecting and expanding Medicare, supporting working families, protecting abortion rights and access, and so many other vital issues that voters really care about. I truly am so proud that Gabe is our Democratic nominee for Congress, and I look forward for a long, meaningful legislative partnership. I can't wait to see what he'll get to done for Rhode Island. And now, it is my honor and my privilege to introduce a man who does not need introduction, and it is a Speaker of the House, Shekarchi. Woo! Thank you.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you all for being here today. It's truly a great day for Rhode Island. It's a great day for the Democratic Party, and most importantly, it's a great day for Gabe. He deserves it. He ran a good campaign. He worked hard, and good guys finished first. So, Gabe, congratulations. We are proud of your efforts, and let me say, we are proud of every candidate who ran. Because as everyone who sits behind me knows, it's not easy to run for elective office. It's not easy to engage in the process and to do so in a dignified way that produces results. So congratulate all the candidates who ran and worked so hard. I promise to be brief because they told me, Chairman McNamara said everybody gets 2 minutes, so I promise to be no more than 2 minutes. First and foremost, I want to recognize my colleagues in the General Assembly here with me today, obviously the Senate President and my Majority Leader. Chairman McNamara will recognize the reps individually. I'm sure I'll forget somebody or I didn't see someone. But of course, all the good things that happen in the House, I want to congratulate Chris Blazajewski because I cannot do it without him. Yes, absolutely. we have in Washington one of the best delegations throughout the country. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it, we punch above our weight for a small state. Senator Reed, Senator Whitehouse, Congressman Magazina, and now we're going to add somebody else to that fine list of individuals, someone who can fill the shoes of Representative Cicilline, someone who can hit the ground running, who has the knowledge and the ability to get things done, who work with everybody. We in the House enjoyed a great rapport with Congressman Cicilline as we do with Congressman Magazina, and I know Gabe will add to that. He'll be a part of Rhode Island's political hierarchy, and he'll deliver for the people of Rhode Island. I'm proud of everything you've done, Gabe. Congratulations. It's nice to have you in Washington, other than in the White House. Now we can call on you for our constituent concerns. So thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to introduce, one last thing. I did receive a call. I just want to acknowledge, and he sends us congratulations. Attorney General Nerona could not make it this morning, but he wanted to know you have his full support, whatever you need for your complete selection cycle in November, and we stand behind him. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Rhode Island's senior senator, a good friend, a talented man who continues to do amazing things for the state of Rhode Island, not only here but in Washington, Senator Jack Reed, my friend.
Thank you very much. Well, first let me salute an outstanding field of candidates. They worked, they strived, and so many are here today because they are dedicated not just to personal achievement, but to the progress of this state and this country. So thank you all the candidates. Let's have a hand, please. And I'm so proud to be here with and for Gabe Amo, because Gabe represents what we treasure the most in this country and this state. He comes from working parents. He drew his example from those parents. His father came from Ghana, started working at $2.10 an hour, hour after hour after hour. His mother came from Liberia. She worked, she studied to become a nurse. So Gabe's image of this country is our image. It's about working families. It's about small businessmen and women. It's about giving opportunity, so with that opportunity, people can contribute more to this great country. And Gabe is an example of that. So when you are thinking about Gabe down in Washington, he's going to be thinking about not the GDP, not this, not that. He's going to be thinking about working families and small business people, giving them a chance to make this country better. First virtue. Second virtue. He's a man of extraordinary talent. His hard work, the inspiration of his parents got him through Moses Brown, to Wheaton College, and then as a Marshall and Truman Scholar at Oxford. Now, some folks in Wall Street might have said, well, he could monetize that talent and really do well. Well, he decided he was going to serve the public because he wanted to provide the opportunities and the chance of achievement that he saw his parents grasp. And he wanted to expand it, to make it better. He understands from his heart and soul how much public education, health care, transportation systems, investment makes to this country. And so he went off to work first in 2006 for my colleague, Sheldon Whitehouse, in his campaign. And Sheldon really wanted to be here because this is not just somebody he knows. This is someone who helped him get elected to the United States Senate, really. But Sheldon had to leave, and I, on his behalf, express his pride and his congratulations. Then after he returned from Oxford, he started working for Barack Obama. Now, I recall Barack Obama as a very junior senator. I don't know what's happened to him since, but apparently he's done pretty well. Gabe was there. Of course, I'm joking. Gabe was there and working and working. And then he came and he worked for Governor Raimondo. Again, this passion for public service, for helping people, for giving people a chance. And then he went back to work for President Biden. And now he's here working for us. He is going to be a superb member of Congress. He has the passion, the intelligence, but much more importantly, he understands that the strength of America comes from people from many, many different lands who work very, very hard, who want to make this country better. And when they do, this country is a shining example to every other nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to ask Gabe to come to the podium. Gabe?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, I knew people were still excited about this election, but you do know there is a Pats game on at 1, right? It's at 4, see?
Take your time, Gabe.
It's been a busy few days. But I want to start with gratitude. Gratitude for all of you for being here. Gratitude to the voters of the 1st Congressional District who voted in the Democratic primary. Across those 19 cities and towns, we did okay. And that's a testament to so many people who weren't planning on voting this year, didn't necessarily have it on their calendars, but participated. And that's what our democracy depends on, people showing up. I certainly want to thank the members of my team, both formal and informal, who are here, because I most certainly did not do this alone. And I thank all of you. You know who you are, but we still have work to do. So to enjoy the rest of the next few days. But we are going to get to it quickly this week because we have a mission to accomplish on November 7th. I certainly want to thank the distinguished folks behind me, our statewide officials, folks who have been leading in so many ways, and certainly also the folks in front of me. Lots of members of the General Assembly and folks who are representing our cities and towns in so many different ways. And I thank you. You did not have to be here, but this is how we come together, and you are participating in that. I also want to acknowledge Congressman Cicilline. We can't have this occasion without celebrating him and the work that he did for 12 years as a leader in the Congress on so many issues that are important to us, from an assault weapons ban to the Equality Act, to reining in the abuses of big tech, and so much more. And I can't wait to get him on the phone some more, because I've already talked to him every day, and he keeps a pretty similar schedule if you've seen him out and about, and really continue to learn from him en route to victory on November 7th. I also want to thank someone who isn't here, but also represented this 1st District, former Congressman Patrick Kennedy, who, again, a legacy of service that has been so strong in his family. He gave the 1st District so much, and before that, his constituents in the General Assembly, and he wanted to make his voice heard in this election, and he came out. And I think it's important to see the continuation of so much work in our candidacy and hopefully my tenure in office. And last but certainly not least, the fine public servants who elected and non-elected who ran in this primary with me. And let's hear it. I am so proud to have stood on stages and sat on panels and been at events, some of them getting more people talking to them than I was. But they are such great people. And the commitment to service and to put yourself out there is one of the more difficult things that I've ever been part of. But it's been easier because I saw them do it skillfully, masterfully, and I am going to count on them every day. Everybody I've spoken with, after we've exchanged our initial words, I said we're going to have to get to work together. I am in this. I am a vessel for our collective hopes and dreams. Our unity is not only captured here today, but will be in the work that we do over the next several weeks to show that we need We need effective leadership and representation in Washington. We need a voice from this district to speak to some of the biggest challenges, but also the biggest opportunities we have ahead. So whether it's the acronym soup of legislation, the ARP, BIL, IRA, all of those things are about investment in people and investment in places right here in the 19 cities and towns of the 1st Congressional District. And when we talk about defense against a Republican Party that is very focused on unraveling some of the progress that we've made over the last several decades, whether it's protecting our climate or reproductive freedom or just making sure that people have the freedom to live without the threat of gun violence. We have work to do, and I'm going to count on everybody here, including the folks who are in this primary field, to get this done. And so many of you know my story, and this is a story that I say is unlikely, but it is a Rhode Island story, and that's where we are inextricably linked. We are linked. We are linked in ensuring that everybody has opportunity. Whether it's the nurse working third shift, whether it's the small business owner open up shop today to make sure that people have what they need before that Patriots game. We are in this together. We are in this together. And so I am so grateful that we will continue to fight for people across this first district together. And the stakes are high. And so I know I have a Republican opponent. I don't know him well. But what I do know is he will be standing with a House Republican majority that does not want to continue the progress that we have built in this country. We got to go forward, not back. We got to go forward, not back. So this is phase one of coming together. This is a beginning and not an end. And I thank you for being part of this journey. Go Pats.
Thank you, Gabe. Let's hear it again for Gabe.
Excellent. I'm going to briefly introduce the representatives that are here, and the Senate President will recognize the senators, not in alphabetical order. Rep. Alzate, Representative O'Brien, Representative Casey. If we could hold your applause for the end, that'd be great. Representative Stewart, Representative Speakman, Representative Knight, Leader Blazajewski, Representative McGraw, Representative Cortravin, Representative Donovan, Representative Cruz, Representative Dawson, Representative Kazarian, Representative Kislak, and I would also like to recognize our National Committee woman, Elizabeth Beretta Perrick. Elizabeth, thank you so much. Our National Committee man, Ambassador Joe Paolino is here. Thank you. Former Senator Cicilline is also with us. Councilman Tim Sweeney is here. Also, former chair and our senior mentor, Bill Lynch, is here. Councilman Ryan is also here. Joanne Ryan. Thank Councilwoman. Thank you. And I think that is... Oh, Councilwoman Vargas. I didn't see her. Excellente. Ladies and gentlemen, when Gabe announced something he said in a debate just almost knocked me over. It was very simple. And I called him, and those I know, Senator Cano and Representative Cruz, the Pawtucket and Providence residents know what it was. Gabe said, I know what it's like to chase down a RIPTA bus to get to school. Having taught at Shea High School for 22 years and been an administrator, I always had bus tokens for the kids, and bus passes. But what Gabe didn't say is when that bus pulled over to the side of the road, he didn't stop running. He ran until the door opened, and he got onto that bus, gave his signature smile, and said to the driver, "Thank you." And that's what I want to say to Gabe and all of the individuals that ran. People ask me, "Are you upset so many people are running?" I said, no. It just demonstrates the great talent that our Democratic Party in this state has. So let's give them all a hand. Thank you very much. And speaking of talent, it's my pleasure to introduce Congressman Seth Magaziner, who had a great victory last year.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming out. I want to thank the chairman, all of the elected officials who are here, and all of the candidates. Joe is absolutely right. How lucky are we in the state of Rhode Island that we have so many quality, talented, smart, dynamic people who are willing to step up and put their names out there and serve the public. Thank you all very much again to everyone who ran. The leader of our delegation, Senator Reed, did a great job explaining why Gabe has the character and the values and the background that will make him such an effective member of Congress. I'm here to talk about something else. I want to tell you why it is so important that we elect Gabe in November. Because I've served in the House now for almost a year, and let me tell you, the stakes are incredibly high. When Gabe joins us in Congress, he will be joining a Democratic caucus that is fighting for working people, fighting to lower drug costs, fighting to protect abortion rights, fighting to grow the economy and expand opportunity and invest in education. But unfortunately, the House right now is being run by a Republican caucus that is too extreme. The Republicans that are running the House right now are trying to ban abortion nationally. They just released a budget that would cut education by 28%. That means that Rhode Island would lose hundreds of teachers, especially in urban areas, and hundreds of Head Start spots. That is their agenda. They are trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which means 40,000 Rhode Islanders would lose their health care. And they've just announced that they're going to launch an impeachment inquiry of President Biden. They don't know what for because they can't find anything that he's done wrong, but it's not going to stop them from impeaching him anyway because Donald Trump wants them to. That is what we are fighting for in the House right now. Team normal versus team extreme. And we need to elect another member of Team Normal. Our country depends on it. So listen. Our mantra for the next 2 months is no surprises. It may have surprised some people, particularly those who didn't know Gabe very well, that he won this race. I may have surprised some people last year when we won ours. But this November, we do not want any surprises. This November, don't listen to the people who say, oh, this is a blue seed, it's fine, we don't have to worry about it. We got to work. We've got to work like our country depends on it, our values, our freedoms, our democracy, because it does. And funny things can happen in elections if you're caught sleeping. So I need all of you, Gabe needs all of you, to pound the pavement, to work the phones, to get out the vote, because this November we want no surprises. We need to elect Gabe to Congress and make sure that we bring Rhode Island values to Washington from the 1st District. So let's go. Let's get the work done.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the next individual who I'm going to introduce needs no introduction in the state of Rhode Island. However, he and our elected leaders in the House and the Senate have delivered for the citizens, and when we think of Gabe's candidacy, certainly we think of our state motto, hope. On this Wednesday, the governor will be signing a Hope Scholarship that will allow our future teachers, social workers, nurses, and juniors and seniors at Rhode Island College to go to school tuition free. That's what I call progress. Tremendous investment in education. Governor, it's my pleasure Governor Dan McKee. Let's give it up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much. And it's so important that we send someone to Congress who understands how to get things done in D.C. Someone who can hit the ground running day one. And for that job, Gabe's our man. I think that both the Speaker and the Senate President will agree with me that Rhode Island is incredibly fortunate to have a strong congressional delegation and a president in the White House who knows about Rhode Island and who cares about Rhode Island. When I think about how important it is, every time I get to the mic, I thank Senator Reed, Senator of the White House, Congressman Magaziner, and soon-to-be Congressman Gabe Amo. Amo, right? Amo. Let's get that right, right? We might as well get that right. Amo. How important they are for us to meet the goals that we have in the state. Raising academic outcomes, raising personal incomes, making sure that we're healthy and fit enough to enjoy living in this great state. I'm confident that Gabe will be an excellent addition to this team. There's many people who are going to voice this today and tomorrow and all the way up to Election Day. We need to make sure that we're doing everything we can in this election to make sure that Gabe wins by a significant margin. Finally, I'd like to say I really enjoyed, Gabe, seeing the video of your dad and his pride. The pride that the state of Rhode Island has in you, but also the pride that that those who are relatively new to this state have in you. And the message that that sends to everyone in the state of Rhode Island that the door is open and the opportunities are there. And it's just up to us to make sure that that happens. But seeing your dad's pride on election night said it all to me, as I know, you know my mom. My mom is proud of me. Our parents are proud of everyone that moves forward and moves the state in the right direction. Gabe, please send my best to your family, to your parents, because they work so hard, as families do every single day in this state, to get someone to elect and represent them on the national level. So congratulations to you. We need to send a strong message as Democrats, and we send Congressman Amo to Congress, to Washington. Join us. Volunteer. We know how elections work. The way that we win elections is by people with their feet on the ground. So get your feet on the ground and let's elect Gabe in November. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Governor. She was a candidate in this race, one of the first ones forward to get on the Gabe Amo team, and we love that as Democrats. It's my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm truly honored to be here to lend my support and to let everyone know that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Gabe Amo is elected to Congress in November. I reached out to Gabe and let him know how proud I am of him, what he's accomplished as a fellow immigrant, as a fellow Rhode Islander. And just like the governor said, I was so happy to see your father's pride in that video, because I saw that pride also in my family last year. It's truly an honor to be here to support you. I want to thank the whole federal delegation for the work that they do for Rhode Island, and the governor for the work that they do together with the General Assembly, the Senate President, and the Speaker. But I also want to take a moment to recognize the fellow candidates that ran in this election. It was truly an honor and a pleasure to be able to share this experience with all of you. And I'm going to start by Senator Cano. Thank you. Senator Quesada. Thank you. Stephanie Beauty. Thank you. You noticed something? I started with the girls, right? Walter. Perfect. Thank you so much. Rep Stacy. Thank you. Councilman Goncalves. Thank you. Thank you all of you for being here to lend your support to this campaign to make sure that Gabe is elected our next congressperson in November. I want to say to Gabe that I'm so honored and so happy to see that we are finally having some diversity in our federal delegation, and I'm proud of the work that you have done, and I'm going to be here to work with you 100%. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce someone I think everyone is familiar with. He's a former mayor of Central Falls. He is our state treasurer, who's doing a wonderful job protecting our assets and signing our checks. Treasurer James Diosa.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with so many elected officials, and it makes this a very important event for us to be here on a Sunday morning. And so thank you to the governor, speaker, the Senate president, but more importantly, our congressional delegation led by the fantastic Senator Jack Reed, Senator Whitehouse, and Congressman Seth Magaziner. You know, this was a very difficult election. I was not running, but I was front and center. I was running too. But I will say, out of all the amazing candidates, I was biased. But I really want to take the opportunity to recognize Sandra's sacrifice, her commitment, her compassion, but also to see her on election night go over to Gabe's campaign and, you know, lend her support to him was truly admirable for me and my family, but I know that all Rhode Islanders saw that, so congratulations so much. And I could tell a lot of stories about Gabe. You know, we were always dreamers. We always thought about, you know, what we could do to serve our state. He always had the bug of wanting to come back to Rhode Island and run for office, and the day has come. And I want to tell Gabe that, you know, just as he's been very helpful to me, my time as a councilman, a mayor, and now as treasurer, he has my 100% commitment to ensure that the people of the Blackstone Valley, the 1st Congressional District, are well represented. And yes, he says he's from Pawtucket, but he had his days in Central Falls too, with his father owning a house on the corner of Valley and Fuller. And so his family has also been an incredible backbone to Gabe's campaign and to his family structure. But today, more importantly than celebrating Gabe, is the democratic unity you're seeing all behind us. This is what makes our party strong, the diversity, and that we're all able to come together after a very combative election. And so I want to thank everyone behind me for coming together and for showing the state that democratic values wins, that unity is what makes us stronger, and that's how we're going to represent moving forward. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my extreme pleasure to introduce one of my former colleagues. He is the Secretary of State. I'm not going to say his name. I would like you to say it and finish this line. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's Amore. Secretary Amore.
Good morning. Good morning. I visited Gabe after his victory at his headquarters, and then I woke up the next morning, and the first thing I did was text him, and with your permission, I'd like to read that text. And it simply says, woke up this morning feeling really good about our state and thinking about how proud your mom and dad are of you and how your and their story is our story. The story I proudly taught my students for so many years. My parents have both passed, but they were both grandchildren of Italian and Irish immigrants who came here with nothing but a dream and a tremendous work ethic. It's a great country. Let's make it even better. And, you know, I think that's how so many Rhode Islanders felt that morning. So I want to thank the candidates as well, because civic engagement at that level takes so much. And you put yourself out there, and it's grueling. It's a difficult thing. It can sometimes make you say, why did I do this? But the candidates all conducted themselves so well. And as I speak all around the state of civil civic engagement, we witnessed that from start to finish in this campaign, and I'm proud to be a Rhode Island Democrat. But I'm here to remind people what I reminded my players, and I was the head coach of the LaSalle Academy and East Providence High School baseball team for many years, and the freshmen and sophomores were always assigned to carry the bats, the helmets, the balls. They got the bad job. And we'd get a lead, 4-run lead in the bottom of the 7th inning, and we played 7 innings in high school, not 9. And I would turn in the dugout and I'd see one of the freshmen putting the bats away. And I'd say, whoa, what are you doing? Oh, we got a 5-0 lead, coach. Put the bats down. I never got so upset as to when they would put the equipment away before the last out. So don't put the equipment away before the last out. The last out has not been recorded. The last out will be recorded November 7th. And we can start to vote early, about 36 days from now. And so you need to get out to your neighbors, need to have those civil, civic discussions with them, and you need to get people out to vote for our next congressperson, Gabe Amo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I was at Planet Fitness the other day, and I looked over to the corner, and there was our Senate President bench pressing about 2 1/4 and curling 75 pounds. He's getting in better shape every day. It's my pleasure to introduce Senate President Dominic Ruggiero.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I wish it was true. It's a tremendous honor to be here today, and I want to publicly congratulate Gabe on this great win, but I also want to commend all those other individuals who participated in the process. This was democracy in action, and as you well know, anyone can run for anything in this country. Anyone can be president in this country. You just have to have the initiative and the wherewithal to get there. But I want to congratulate Gabe, and I want to congratulate all the other participants who worked very hard during this campaign. It was one of the cleanest campaigns I've seen in a number of years, and that's a testament to the individuals that participated. I want to recognize the presence of a number of my colleagues from the Senate, Senator Cano, my chair of education in the Senate. You did a great job on the campaign, Sandra. You are one of my favorites. Senator Anna Casada, who was also a candidate, part of the leadership team in the Senate. I want to thank her for the manner in which she conducted. I also want to recognize the presence of Senator Sam Zuria, who's here today. Senator Linda Ujafusa from Portsmouth, who's here today. Senator Tiara Mack, who's also here today, and a number of other people who could not be here but expressed their interest, and I want to thank them for what they did this year and on the campaign and everything they do in the Assembly on a daily basis. Obviously, it was an interesting election, and a number of people who were involved, and I know this from the first hand because the Senate had a special election. We have a vacant seat there. It was Senator Mary Ellen Goodwin's seat. She passed away, and we are going to be very active, not only in that particular campaign for the individual that's supporting, but also for Gabe's campaign. So I'm going to put forth the support from the Senate. I'm going to be talking with my colleagues. We're going to be gearing up for those two purposes. So I want to thank everyone for being here. The great thing about speaking last is that you don't have to reiterate everything that was said about the candidate, all their good qualities, because it's been said before. But I want to thank everyone for being here today, and let's move forward. I can't wait till November. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no I in team. It's going to take all of us to elect Gabe. And as my coach used to say, paraphrasing, it takes a team to work Gabe's dream. So let's get out there and work 100% to get him elected.
Picture. Don't want to
Oh,
Yes.
Could all the speakers please stand?
Watch out for your heads. You're tall.
Step up.
Yeah, I think we have signs if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Grab signs.
You got it, Abby. Why don't we do great?
Both flowers together. Yeah. All right. Come in.
Take like one more step.
Folks, speakers out here. And then closer in. Maybe folks back a little bit so we can get some photos. Oh, God.
Direct the podium, we're gonna need that.
Can everybody see my face?
No.
Okay, well, find me.
Everyone look at Emily first.
Smile.
There you go.
Go, Gabe.
Yay!